Welcome to another explainer. Look, we know GCSE maths can feel incredibly stressful, right? It's like this massive mountain of topics you just expected to memorize. But today, we're giving you the ultimate cheat code for two things that pop up on papers literally every single year: highest common factor and lowest common multiple. You know them as HCF and LCM. So before we jump into this ultimate GCSE student study guide, do us a huge favor. Hit that like button and subscribe to this explainer so you never miss out on our GCSE survival tips. Let's get into it.
So, I've got to ask, want to guarantee maximum marks on your maths GCSE? Yeah, I know, it sounds like a massive promise, but mastering these specific foundational skills is absolutely the key to unlocking those top grades. HCF and LCM might seem kind of basic at first glance, but trust me, examiners love to use them to test your deeper understanding and your problem-solving abilities.
Here's our lesson plan for today. First, prime factors explained. Second, finding HCF and LCM. Number 3, the Venn diagram hack. 4, exam board differences. And finally, number 5, tips for maximum marks.
Section 1, prime factors explained. Okay, let's dive right into this.
As a quick refresher, remember that a prime number is a number that has exactly two factors, 1 and itself. We're talking about numbers like 2, 3, 5, 7, and 11. So a prime factor is simply a factor of a given number that also happens to be a prime number. Our sources highlight that identifying these prime factors is literally step 1 for any high-level calculation you're going to do in this topic. You have to get this down first.
The absolute easiest way to find these is by using a factor tree. It's like a giant puzzle. Here's how you do it. First, you split your number into two branches. Say you have the number 40. You could split that into 4 and 10. Now, neither of those are prime, so you just keep splitting. The 4 becomes 2 and 2. The 10 becomes 2 and 5. Second, and this brilliantly illustrates a key examiner tip, circle the prime factors as you go along. Seriously, circle those 2s and that 5 right away. If you don't circle them, it is so incredibly easy to lose them in the absolute panic of a messy working out page. Finally, you write those circled prime numbers out as a product. All that means is writing them with multiplication signs right between them, like 2 times 2 times 2 times 5.
Section 2, finding HCF and LCM. This is where a lot of students get their wires crossed, so let's clear it up once and for all.
The distinction is right there in the names, but it's absolutely crucial to visualize it correctly. The highest common factor, or HCF, of two numbers is the highest possible number that divides exactly into both of your original numbers. On the flip side, the lowest common multiple, the LCM, is the lowest possible number that is a multiple of both original numbers. Basically, it's the smallest number that both of your original numbers can divide into without leaving any remainder at all.
But here's the real trick. Examiners rarely just hand you two numbers and say, hey, find the LCM. No way. Instead, they disguise these math concepts as real-world word problems. According to the Corbett Maths examples in our sources, you really have to look for the hidden clues. If a question asks you about sharing items equally into groups, like say, figuring out how many packets of bread rolls and hot dogs you need to buy so you don't have any left over, you're looking for the HCF. But if the question is about overlapping events, like a red light flashing every 6 seconds and a yellow light every 4 seconds, or trains leaving a station on totally different schedules, then you're looking for the LCM to find out exactly when they're going to sync up and happen at the exact same time.
Section 3, the Venn diagram hack. And this brilliantly illustrates our next point, which is the absolute best, most visually effective strategy for solving these questions without getting all tangled up.
If you look closely at the official curriculum specifications across the exam boards, you'll see they actually state that students should use formal methods, like Venn diagrams, for identifying HCF and LCM. What does this mean for you? It means examiners are actively looking for and rewarding this specific visual technique. It proves to them that you truly understand the structure of the numbers, rather than just guessing.
So how does this hack actually work in practice? Well, once you have the prime factors for both of your numbers, you draw your two overlapping Venn diagram ovals, labeling one for each number. Then, you look at your two lists of prime factors, take the ones that both numbers share, and pop them right into that middle intersection. Any leftover prime factors go into the outer parts of their respective circles. Now, to find the HCF, you simply multiply the numbers inside that middle intersection together. That's literally it. And to find the LCM, you just multiply absolutely all the prime factors you can see in the entire Venn diagram together. It's such a clean method, and it virtually eliminates those silly mistakes that come from trying to match up long lists of numbers in your head.
Now let's level this up with an advanced shortcut taken straight from the Pearson Edexcel revision guide. Sometimes, the exam gives you the numbers already broken down into index form. That just means they're written with powers, like 2 to the power of 3. If they do this, you don't even need a Venn diagram. For the HCF, you just look at the common primes and choose the lowest power of each prime factor present. For the LCM, you choose the highest power of each prime factor. Knowing this index shortcut is a massive time saver during the actual exam.
Section 4. Exam board differences. Let's move on and see how this builds into your actual exam, because not all papers are created equal.
The math itself, prime factors, HCF, LCM, is exactly the same no matter where you live. But our sources from leading tuition highlight that the main exam boards ask the questions quite differently. For example, AQA tends to use highly structured question formats. At Excel, they place a super heavy emphasis on application and real-world context, so think back to those flashing lights and train schedules. OCR, on the other hand, leans much more into open-ended question styles. This means you absolutely must tailor your revision and practice to your specific exam board, just so you aren't caught off guard by the way a question is phrased.
Section 5. Tips for maximum marks. Let's focus purely on those insider examiner secrets so you can dodge those silly, avoidable mistakes.
Okay, listen closely to this direct quote from the examiner's report regarding prime factors. They say, make sure you use multiplication signs in your final answer, don't use commas, and don't just write a list. That is absolutely crucial. If you just list the prime numbers out with commas, even if you found all the correct numbers, you are going to lose marks because you haven't written them as a product. It's such an easy trap to fall into.
So, to absolutely secure those top grades, always use those multiplication signs. Furthermore, bundle your factors up using powers or index form wherever possible to keep your answers super neat and mathematically sound. And finally, the most reliable way to prepare for those unpredictable grade boundary shifts is to work through past papers from your specific exam board under strict timed conditions. If you do that, you've totally got this.
Mastering these basic building blocks isn't just about grabbing a few easy marks on early paper questions. It's literally the gateway to understanding and conquering much harder, higher-tier algebra down the line. So I'll leave you with this final thought. Will you be the one dropping marks on the basics because you forgot a single multiplication sign, or will you be the one securing the top grade? Get to studying, practice those Venn diagrams, and before you go, please like and subscribe to this explainer for more essential GCSE study guides. See you next time.